Um, can you just give us the sort of condensed version of your cancer diagnosis and when that was and what type of cancer you were diagnosed with?
Well, in 1988, for a year or so, I'd had a small pain in my lower groin, just a very insidious little, not an ache, it wasn't even a pain, but it was consistent. And so after a while, I went to the hospital. I went to a doctor, and he said, well, I don't think there's anything to it, but let's run some tests. So they gave me this stuff to drink, and the first time I knew I was in problem, I was laying on a bed in the hospital, and this nurse says, quick, girls, come over and look. I knew I was in trouble when she said that, and it turned out that my right kidney wasn't working. She had never seen a body that had one kidney. And so it was a novelty for them, but at my expense. But I called a friend in Phoenix who was president of the Maricopa County Medical Association. I said, Bob, find me the best urologist in America. So a couple of days later, he called me with the name Taylor Floyd in Albuquerque. Taylor Floyd had probably, I think at that time, he was the only doctor in New Mexico that could transplant some of the organs. So I went to see him, and he said, well, just because your kidney isn't working doesn't mean you have to take it out. He said, you can leave it in, but since you have a little pain there, let's take it out. I said, what are the chances of being cancer? He said, 5%. I said, okay. So a 2-hour operation turned into 5, and he told me I had a 20% chance of living 5 years. So that's when the treasure, I said, if I've got to go, who says I can't take it with me? Sure I can. I'm not going to live by everybody else's rules. And that's when I got the idea to hide a treasure chest. Sure I can take it with me.